You keep wondering what you did wrong. You keep playing the moment they left on loop. Like if you study it hard enough, you'll finally understand. But what if the reason they left wasn't because of who you were? What if it was because of who they couldn't be?
Tyler, we internalize abandonment like it's proof of failure. But most people don't leave because you were too much. They leave because they weren't ready to receive something real. You weren't too emotional. You weren't too complicated. You weren't hard to love. They were just unprepared to face themselves through your truth.
The truth is, they didn't leave because you were wrong. They left because your presence asked them to be honest. And honesty scares people who have lived in masks. The problem wasn't your depth. It was their inability to meet you there.
And here's what most don't realize. When people leave you, they're not making a statement about your worth. They're revealing their limitations. Let that sink in. They didn't leave because of who you were. They left because of who they weren't ready to become.
I remember sitting alone with that silence, thinking, if I were better, they would have stayed. But that silence didn't mean I failed. It meant they couldn't meet the version of me that finally started healing.
You were evolving, and they were still choosing comfort over courage. People don't leave because you're broken. They leave when they realize they can't keep you small anymore.
Let's pause. If it's safe, put your hand on your chest and say this out loud. I was not the reason they left. I am not a reflection of their inability to love. I released the story that says it was my fault.
You're not hard to love. You were just asking to be met at the level of your soul. And most people never make it there. But just because they couldn't show up doesn't mean you should stop.
There's a psychological truth most people never learn. When someone leaves, our brain tries to assign meaning. We blame ourselves to make the chaos feel controlled. Because if it's our fault, maybe we can fix it. But if it's not our fault, we have to accept that some people just won't choose us, even when we're everything they said they wanted.
But here's your freedom. They didn't leave because you were unworthy. They left because they couldn't rise to meet the version of you that loved with depth. That's not rejection, that's a mirror shattering. And they ran from the reflection.
You don't have to keep grieving what was never yours to hold. You don't have to make excuses for their absence. You get to make peace with what they could never give, and still believe you are worthy of love that stays.
Let's walk through a quiet practice. If you're ready and you're in a safe place, close your eyes. Inhale, release the guilt. Exhale, make room for truth. And repeat after me. I am not their departure. I am not their silence. I am what they weren't brave enough to choose.
This is where peace begins, not in their return, but in your refusal to chase closure from someone who never understood your depth. You didn't need them to stay. You needed you to come back home.
And now, you're here. Not broken, not abandoned, but whole. And walking into the kind of love that doesn't flinch at your softness.
Next week, we go even deeper. Why you kept loving them, even after they hurt you. Because healing isn't just walking away, it's unlearning why you stayed. On that note, this next song was written with you in mind.
I searched the silence for something I did, rewrote every moment since I was a kid. Was it my words, was it my need, or did they leave because they couldn't see me? And I tried to be smaller, softer, quiet, but it never stopped the riot. It wasn't about me, it was about what they couldn't face. I wasn't too much, they just needed space to stay the same. But I changed, and I stayed, and And I broke my own heart trying to make them stay. I looked with hands open, but they never reached. So I made peace with the silence they used to preach. You're not enough, you're hard to love. But now I know that love was never from above. I gave my all, they gave me pieces. Now I'm building on their absence releases. It wasn't about me, it was about what they couldn't feel. I wasn't asking for too much, I was asking for something real. They walked, I watched, then I rose like a dawn they never thought I'd catch. I let go and I reclaimed my breath. I forgave the version of me that begged. I no longer wait in rooms that empty me. It wasn't about me, and that's where peace begins. It wasn't about me, it was never about me. I searched the silence for something I did, rewrote every moment. Since I was a kid, was it my words, was it my need? Or did they just leave because they couldn't see me? And I tried to be smaller, softer, quiet, but it never stopped the riot. It wasn't about me, ooh. It was about what they couldn't face. I wasn't too much, they just needed space to stay the same. But I changed, and I stayed. And I broke my own heart trying to make them stay. I loved with cans open, but they never reached. So I made peace with the silence they used to preach. You're not enough, you're hard to love. But now I know that lie was never from above. I gave my all, they gave me pieces. But now I'm building where their absence releases. It wasn't about me, it was about me. It was about what they couldn't feel. I wasn't asking for too much, I was asking for something real. They walked, I watched, and then I rose like a dawn they never thought I'd catch. I let go and I reclaimed my breath. I forgive the version of me that begged. I no longer wait in rooms that empty me. It wasn't about me, and that's where peace begins. It wasn't about me, it was never about me. I searched the silence for something I did, rewrote every moment. Since I was a kid, was it my words, was it my need? Or did they leave because they couldn't see me? And I tried to be smaller, softer, quiet, but it never stopped the riot. It wasn't about me, it was about what they couldn't face. I wasn't too much, they just needed space to stay the same. But I changed, and I stayed. And I broke my own heart trying to make them stay. I looked with hands open, but they never reached. So I made peace with the silence they used to preach. You're not enough, you're hard to love. But now I know that love was never from above. I gave my all, they gave me pieces. Now I'm building on their absence releases. It wasn't about me, it was about what they couldn't feel. I wasn't asking for too much, I was asking for something real. They walked, I watched, then I rose like a dawn they never thought I'd catch. I let go and I reclaimed my breath. I forgave the version of me that begged. I no longer wait in rooms that empty me. It wasn't about me, and that's where peace begins. It wasn't about me, it was never about me. I searched the silence for something I did, rewrote every moment. Since I was a kid, was it my words, was it my need? Or did they just leave because they couldn't see me? And I tried to be smaller, softer, quiet, but it never stopped the riot. It wasn't about me, ooh. It was about what they couldn't face. I wasn't too much. They just needed space to stay the same, but I changed, and I stayed. And I broke my own heart trying to make them stay. I loved with cans open, but they never reach. So I made peace with the silence they used to preach. You're not enough, you're hard to love, but now I know that lie was never from above. I gave my all, they gave me pieces, but now I'm building where their absence releases. It wasn't about me, it was about me. It was about what they couldn't feel. I wasn't asking for too much, I was asking for something real. They walked, I watched, and then I rose like a dawn. They never saw a catch. I let go and rather take no breath. I forgive the version of me that begged. I'm no longer away in rooms that empty me. It wasn't about me, and that's what peace begins. It wasn't about me, it was never about me.